Oh, Tyler,
Hold on. Wait a minute.
hold on. You fixing it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was a hair or a bug.
Have you finally gotten?
It was a hair.
Has your digestion finally settled, or did you regulate yourself enough this Thanksgiving?
I mean, I held back a little bit.
Me too.
Yeah.
Lord, why we got it? It's one of those things. Like the older you get, the more you realize, like, I cannot punish. But then there's a certain age as well that I've seen, like within this past week, that you just don't give a shit anymore.
Well,
Like you're gonna just shove it in, and you're gonna have to readjust yourself on the couch so it'll lay better in your stomach, so you can get the rest of that platter down.
Here's the thing. I still had 2 plates, and that's round 1.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's so many different foodstuffs that even one spoonful of everything will not physically fit on one plate.
No, we do platters.
Well, we usually had like the foam tray things, and it still takes 2 of those.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't have those this year. We had these 2 nice disposable plates that my aunt decided to keep because she can rewash them because they're plastic or whatever. But went through the line, got my food, and you know how we all have that one relative that we don't eat their food?
Oh yeah, we don't have them anymore, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so most of my family pretty good cooks, and there's usually a group chat that pops up around the time of the holidays, about a month before, of hey, who all's coming, what is everybody bringing. But some people, they go rogue and they bring extra things, which is fine.
Yes, I get that happens.
So most of the menu, pretty well knowledgeable who brings what. It's usually the same players bringing the same contributions. Well, there was a casserole type dish that showed up that looked good, and I'm asking, like, who brought this?
Oh no, you're trying to gauge the scenario here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, please don't say it's them. Please don't
Yep.
say it's them.
And
This
I've
looks
got
so
it.
good.
I've got it at a good sign. You're like, hey, who brought this? Because it looks really good. Oh, that's so and so's. I'm like, I ain't eating that.
That ain't for me, bud.
Because here's the thing.
Is that
you can't eat at everybody's
moth?
house.
Is that a moth? What is?
You can't eat at everybody's house. You can't eat at everybody's house. Whoa, you can't eat at everybody's house. You can't eat. You can't eat. You can't eat at everybody's house. So here's the thing. Not gonna eat that casserole. Got everything else. Everything else fantastic. The person that brought said casserole was sitting a chair or 2 away from me. They were eating their own casserole. I seen them take a bite, and they're chewing, and then I see a slight bit of panic on their face. I'm about the only person that saw this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking, because I have to know what the panic's about. I see them extract a Band-Aid from their mouth. It goes into a napkin and goes away. And I went, that's why I don't eat your food. Because
Hi, I'm Sarah McLaughlin, and if you'd like to donate to Shazam in Need, whose brain is now going into a very, very dark place because of the visual that Tiny has presented him, please join.
Yep.
God, that is so fucking gross.
It is. I mean, it was there. Look, here's the thing. Like, we've all eaten a dish prepared by a family member and found a hair. Granted, not ideal, but it's a hair. You pick it out, you throw it away, it's whatever. But how do you go with a Band-Aid on, I assume, your hand, make the dish, and then go, my Band-Aid's gone. Finish making said dish and take that to people to eat, knowing that there's a 99% possibility that there's a Band-Aid in it.
It was my grandfather's brother-in-law, Paul. It was his birthday. This might be Paul's last birthday. We go to Paul's birthday. It's my mom, my dad, and me, my brother, my sister. This is a family event. We're all there. Well, Mom's sitting right next to Paul because Mom's talked to Paul for forever, all through all these years, because her and my dad have been together a long time. So she's seen Paul for a ton of times, and she's one of those. She sees an older person that's getting up there, that she's going to be a little bit more attentive with them and everything, just because she feels like that could be easily neglected.
Right.
And she's very excited, to get him excited and everything. So she sits next to him at the table and everything. But Paul is up there, and I'm talking in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's up there.
Yeah.
So Paul's doing things that normal folks don't quite do while they're at the dinner table with everybody or at the table passing pieces of cake. My brother in Christ. So Paul is sitting there at the table, and they're passing slices of cake. And I didn't have time to tell my mother. But between a piece of cake getting passed to Paul, he had the urge to get in there real quick. And he saw it on his fingers, and I saw it, Donnie, it was this quick. It was this quick.
Yeah.
He gave it one of these. It went nowhere, and then the plate was passed, and that plate went to my mom.
God.
That plate went to my mom. And then my mom, as soon as it sat down, she already had her fork because she was excited to eat a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And as soon as that plate sat down, I said, "Hey, Mom," she go,
"Oh, God."
If it was a movie, that scene shot by shot, but my sir...
You didn't tell her, did you? Because at that point, I wouldn't have said a word.
It wasn't that I said something to her. It's that I locked eyes with my brother, who also witnessed what just happened, who had already tapped my sister on the leg and told her, and who had both locked eyes with me as the other sister was trying to find out what was happening. And then I just went, and then we all started laughing, and then we had to go outside. We all just went outside, and then Mom followed us. Mom said,
God.
"What is wrong with y'all? Why y'all laughing? Why are y'all laughing so hard in there? You had to leave outside." And I'm out laughing like me.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm got and somebody has got me, there's no breath. There's tears. I can't breathe. There's a pain in my chest. I can't breathe. And I'm out there dying laughing. And then my mom says, "What is it?" I was like, "Mom, was that cake crunchy?" And she's like, "No, what are you talking about?" I said, "Mom, he rolled one in his fingers before he grabbed your plate, and I didn't have time to tell." She's like, that wasn't Booker. That wasn't a Booker cake." My mom said that. She said that wasn't a Booger cake. And I said, "Mom, that might have been a Booger cake." She went and threw up in the bushes.
I would too.
She went and threw up in the bushes.
I would too.
And every time we talk about it, because I can bring it up like a ghost, here I come. And I'm like, "Hey, Mom, you remember that time that you had that real crunchy cake down at Paul's?" And she goes, She goes, "Shut up, Austin."
I don't blame her. I don't blame her one bit. Thankfully, I've never experienced one of those type of situations.
Oh. But, dude, the Band-Aid just being yanked out the mouth.
At least the person who committed the crime got the punishment.
That's.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That whole thing is infected, but at least the person who infected it got the horror show. Because God help both of us. If I ever ate somebody's food that they had prepared for me to eat, and I found a Band-Aid in it in my mouth, God help us both. It would be probably bad things would happen. I can't say it on a recorded line. Because I would be very upset.
It makes me want to punch the world just thinking about stuff like that. There's only one thing that could probably chase out the vision that I've had of the grotesque food incidents that have, and it's up there. It's in the ceiling.
Oh, thank God.
Hi. Austin, Shazam, thrown together like a bunch of scraps of meat. Pfeiffer.
And I'm Tiny, Band-Aid mouthless.
Oh, and we are Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where your best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And we've got something current that we're going to be speaking on the behalf of this week.
Yeah. And honestly, it goes in line with Band-Aids.
Does it really go in line with Band-Aids in the mouth?
Not in the mouth.
Oh, I'm just saying, Band-Aids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patching things up.
Yeah, patching it all together.
You know? Yeah, it's almost like...
Kind of like a quilt.
Yeah, like the Dolly Parton song, Coat of Many Colors, My Grandma Made For Me, or whatever.
Something like
says.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Daddy made for me, or whatever, I don't know. We're just going to talk a little bit about the Frankenstein. Now, what is the newest movie called? Is it just Frankenstein?
It's called Frankenstein.
Okay, just called Frankenstein, because there have been a lot of different iterations of the Frankenstein story
Yeah,
over
I
the
mean,
years.
if you're going to try to Google it, just put in the year, because a lot of the former renditions are also called Frankenstein.
Yes, and Mary Shelley's Frankenstein,
Yep.
which out of nowhere, here comes Robert De Niro as Frankenstein's monster, like, ooh,
That's weird. But like this one is directed and written by Guillermo del Toro, which I didn't know anything about this movie gonna be a thing until a customer come into the shop and very poorly explained it. I ended up watching it. Fucking great movie.
It was a very well told story.
Yep.
That gave you a different hint of perspective, also by altering the way that they do a thing or two from the novel, but making it very coherent throughout the whole thing.
Which
like
they didn't alter a lot from the novel, because that's basically what my notes are, is the differences between the movie and the novel.
Yeah.
Because it was based on the Mary Shelley novelization. But they just kind of delved into a couple of ideas a little more, and they just kind of just hinted at some other ones, because a lot of the themes from the movie are present in the novel, but they're a little more ham-fisted for the movie.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you're describing a scene and setting a scene eloquently with words, but in a visual aspect, you have to carry it out a certain way to convey that kind of message, and it might come off a little bit more, as you said, ham-fisted.
Yeah. Because it'd be really easy to almost be too blasé with it if you don't ham it up in certain aspects. Because
that boy loved him some milk.
yes, he did. I noticed that too, and I'm like, that's so weird.
Him loved him some milk. Like, they don't talk much about that in the breakdown and stuff, but I think that might also be like that maternal yearning that he had.
It could have been. Because there was some very Freudian things going on with him.
Yeah, there were some oddities.
Makes sense why, based on his upbringing, because like his dad, I don't remember his first name, Frankenstein, was like the most prolific doctor of his time. Like, that's how he made his money. And so he was being raised to take over the family business, so to speak. And he was basically treated like he was a computer kind of thing. Like, he'd sit there, be asked questions. If he was wrong, he got smacked with a stick.
Yeah.
And no, we're not doing the hands anymore because you're going to be a surgeon, so let me see that face. And it was just a very brutal upbringing. And then his brother's born. His dad was gone a lot, so he clung to his mother because that was his mother. Like, she was the only thing in his life that wasn't hard and brutal and all these other things. And so when his dad come back from whatever his dad was doing, and his brother William is born, his dad's like, well, you're the youngest, so I'm just gonna show you all the affection, but not give any to your brother Victor. And so Victor's on the edge watching it all happen, like, why can't my dad love me? So he's got that standard that he's got to try to live up to just to hear, like, his dad say he's proud of him. And so he almost develops like psychosis, because he starts to get visions and things like he's going to conquer death. And then his mother passes away in the birth of his brother, and he starts to blame his father. He's like, well, you're the best doctor in the entire world, and you let her die.
Yeah. You let her die to save this child.
Yeah. Well, no, he was like, you let her die.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he didn't hate his brother. He loved his brother.
That's
but
true.
he said, you let her die because she was good to me. That's kind of how I took it. Maybe that's me reading in a little too far. Maybe it's not. And his dad goes, don't you think I did everything I could? He goes, I'm going to be better than you. I'm going to be so much better that I'm going to conquer death. I'm going to do something that you could never do because fuck you.
Yep.
He didn't say fuck you.
No.
But he did without saying it.
Bite my thumb at you, son.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Some of that Victorian era.
Oh, yeah. Well, and like the whole movie had like a Tim Burton kind of vibe, which was cool.
It was dark, but not in a way you couldn't see stuff.
Right. Well, like this movie it's done in a gothic horror style.
See.
So that's where you get that like kind of Tim Burton-esque look, because Tim Burton does gothic horror. And so you get the like overly complicated, like intricately designed things, like this is a battery, but it's like this crazy cylinder with this red liquid in it, and it goes, you know,
It almost looks like Tesla and Edison teamed up as
Oh, yeah.
opposed to having a rivalry.
Yeah, because looking at it, I was like, that looks kind of like something Tesla would have done.
Uh-huh.
I thought that more than once.
Yes, there were several things in there that made me think that like this is a fusion of what happened and what could have happened.
Yep.
Because I see a lot of stuff from the old Tesla like pictures and everything, and it's like, whoa, like this is back when?
Yeah.
Like that's
Right.
kind of ridiculous
Yeah,
and then we go from that to what you can free energy or confine the energy.
Right.
Which one made it popular?
Right. And man, who was the guy that played Victor? Do you know if that's
Yeah,
good?
yeah. Oscar Isaac.
He did amazing.
Yeah, Moon Knight.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the same person.
Yeah.
I've only seen like half of one episode.
He was also in Star Wars.
Could have been, because he looked familiar to me. I know I've seen him in things.
Who's the fighter pilot that's got the plot armor in the later trilogy?
Couldn't tell you.
He fights in the X-wing and everything, and
Poe?
Bo
Oh,
Dameron.
okay. I didn't know that was him.
Yeah,
But-
Oscar Isaac.
I thought he did fantastic. Like he had that, he could do that dark and brooding kind of look.
Yeah.
And the hair went along with that, you know, like the whole aesthetic. And like the opening scene of the boat in the North Pole is, at first I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I've never read the novel,
Yeah,
you know.
me either.
And I'm like, why are we watching this Danish boat surrounded by ice being stuck? You know, and then the explosion happens. They find him, they drag him on there, and then the creature, which that's what he's referred to as, basically comes and attacks and is like, "Give me Victor," you know. And it was like, what's going on? And the guy that played the creature did fantastic as well.
He was in something. I'm gonna look it up because it was something that I know that I watched with my wife, and I can remember him from it. I'm gonna look it up.
Well, and the costuming was great. Like everything, like all the details for the movie was great. Like it was a very cohesive film to watch. Highly recommend. Also, there's going to be spoilers if you ain't figured it out so far.
It's Jacob Elordi, or I don't want to think it's Elordi, but I think it's Elordi.
Yeah, I knew it was Jacob something, but I could not remember the last name. I just remembered it was something complicated.
Yeah, I believe that he was in Euphoria, which is an HBO series that was a pretty popular series. I think another season of that is coming out. But also Christoph Waltz playing the Heinrich Harlander.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
you know,
Isn't he in a lot of like the
He's-
Tarantino movies?
yeah,
as
he
the
was
German?
he was in Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, he's always the German guy.
He's the guy that was in the final thingy with Brad Pitt's character. He's like, and whenever you get home, you're probably going to want to take off that pretty Nazi uniform, aren't you? We aren't going to like.
He wasn't that one.
He played.
He
yeah.
he played the one from the opening scene when saying, "Are you hiding Jews under the floorboards?"
It's the same guy.
Well, it's not the same guy that got hit with a baseball bat. Different guy.
The guy that's
But no. That guy was in both of those movies, but the scene you're referring to wasn't that guy. That was a different guy.
Well, I'm talking about the scene where Brad Pitt and his B.J. Novak are walking through the woods after they had made the agreement, and it is him and one other guy, and they kill the other guy. And he's like, they're gonna the court martial you for this. They'll kill you.
Okay, I thought you was referring to the Bear Jew scene.
Negative.
My
negative.
bad.
No.
My bad.
I'm talking about the one later on in the movie, and he's like, no, that'll just get my ass chewed. I've had a ass chewing.
Yeah. He was basically the highest ranking one in the movie.
Yes.
that we saw. Yeah,
You're correct.
Same guy. Great actor.
Absolutely.
Always a German.
Mm-hmm.
He might actually be German for all I know.
I can find out real quick.
Give that a goog because I've wondered, because just like the Russian guy.
Yep.
You know, it's
Austrian and German.
Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, his last name's Waltz.
Okay. Well, I never knew his name. So,
I just told you.
well, I know now. Anytime I've seen him, I go, it's the German guy.
Yeah, and the Mia Goth, who played Elizabeth, like she did a really good haunting.
Go ahead, hit the thing.
Tiny Sid.
Because I mean, she was beautiful, and she did an amazing job as Elizabeth. What I thought was cool was the movie goes between both perspectives of Victor's and the creatures, which apparently is also in the novel. So I thought that was cool because it starts off with Victor telling his story to this random Dutch sea captain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the creature comes in, kicks open the door, and he's like, gonna shoot him. And Victor's like, no, don't shoot him. And he's like, well, I'm gonna tell you my story. And just the dichotomy of that's not the right word for what it was. The differences between the two, the word I was looking for was just the juxtaposition. The juxtaposition
Yes.
of Victor's perspective versus the creature's was pretty just stark. Because when Victor made him, he see him as anything other than an object. Because he started off with no patience because the creature was basically a child.
Had infantile learning.
Exactly. So,
and he thought you're in this body, you are adult, you should be adult, you should
Exactly.
be you are automatically revenant. Speak to me,
exactly.
Victor.
Whereas Elizabeth, circling back to your thing, saw him for what he was, saw him that he was basically just a child in that body. Because she even says to him at one point, he goes, well, all he can say is Victor. And she's like, well, don't you think that maybe that one word to him is everything?
Yep.
And like at the end of it, the end of part of the first part, when he's leaving and he's pouring the gasoline everywhere, he looks at the creature and he goes, say one more word and I'll save you. Just anything, just one more word. And then he looks at Victor and he says, Elizabeth. And he still tries to kill him.
Absolutely.
I'm going, bruh, he literally did what you asked. It's like, because you wanted him to immediately have all this knowledge, but you in no way was trying to teach him the knowledge because he was a child. Like, he saw a leaf and he put it in the water and watched it float and was fascinated by it. He was a child in that body.
Yeah.
But you just assuming that just because you pieced all this together that it's going to have a man's brain. That's not what it was.
Just because it operates with a man's brain inside of its head does not mean it thinks like a person.
Exactly.
And the creature, just seeing that, because it was also, he was spiteful. He did a lot of things out of spite, Victor did.
Yeah.
Like, his whole reasoning for even wanting to conquer death in the first place was to spite his father, who didn't give him enough attention. It wasn't even because he wanted to be a miracle man. It's because he wanted to do it to show his father that it could be done. It was hey, look at me.
Yeah, it fed his ego and his hubris. Like, that's how he operated. I mean, he come to find he come to realize that later in the movie. But that's how everything was just defiance for defiance sake. Even though he wanted this knowledge because he was rejected by the doctors of the day for the idea that it could even be possible. So he's like, I'm just going to do it. Like, it's going to be what's going to happen because fuck you. That's how Victor operated on everything, was as a fuck you. And so when it didn't work out exactly the way he intended, he said, fuck you. And he tried to blow everything up because it wasn't what he wanted.
Yeah. And
Whereas if he would have just took a little bit of time and patience and had this little thing called compassion, it would have been everything he ever wanted.
And he did not take the route to where he was going to try to teach it and try to learn with it, how to operate with it. It was more as, you are a mistake to be deleted.
Yes.
And the funny thing about it is, and I never thought about it until I started looking into stuff today, the movie Jurassic, I don't know much about the novel. I'm going to talk like movie comparisons here. Jurassic Park and Frankenstein are very similar.
Kinda, yeah.
It deals with something called the ethics of creation and the burden of the creator.
Yep.
And the story questions the moral responsibility of the creator towards their creation, exploring consequences when ambition outpaces empathy or ethical foresight.
Yep.
It's the old Jeff Goldblum, we kept thinking about whether we could, and we didn't spend enough time thinking if we should. It's one of those, like, you didn't think about the ramifications of all of this. You didn't think about all the what ifs. Like, you didn't think about all the possibilities other than you are going to succeed, because Victor, at the end of the day, was fairly delusional.
Oh, very.
And he had so much like the illusion of the delusions of grandeur within himself as well, especially once he got a money bag behind him.
Well, I think that goes into his psychosis, because I think he was, not only did he have that ego and that hubris, I think he was also psychopathic, because of the illusions of grandeur, because of the visions he was seeing. Like, he literally kept seeing this red angel demon thing that would tell him things, and he at one point was yelling at it, well, you lied to me because this didn't work. And then it worked, you know what I'm saying? So I think he also had some mental issues, just aside from trauma, like chemical imbalances.
Like your typical like person that's a serial killer kind of mentality.
Yeah.
Like this childhood trauma that's carried over into hyper-intellectualism, that carries along the pain with the weight, because the weight of knowledge combined with the pain of existence creates this massive cocktail of what's going to happen. It's explosive every time.
Right. Well, I had the robot compared the movie and the novel. So in the novel, it does go into themes of identity, trauma, forgiveness, and the nature of humanity. But the movie emphasizes them a little more to get the point across. And, and in the Creatures arc, it emphasizes existential anguish, longing for belonging, learning, and growth, making him not just a monster, but a tragic figure seeking meaning. And that echoes the novel's philosophical undercurrents, but the film, does it more overtly. So all those themes are present in the original work. It just leans more into them to make them more obvious, which I thought was super cool, that for a novel of that day that they were actually discussing those types of heavy topics in that type of a novel.
And something that I noticed about the movie, that it might have been a theme in the novel, but I had never read the novel, so I can't tell you. But in the movie, Victor was a jealous fuck. He was jealous of everybody for everything. He was jealous of his brother for Elizabeth. He was jealous of the monster for Elizabeth. He was jealous of pretty much anything that had to do with him not getting his way. Even when it was the monster, like the creature not wanting, to be alone in this world and isolated into his own existence, and you need to make me a partner. Then there's jealousy of like, I'm not getting the nookie that I want. How dare you have any ability to maybe? Not even talking like that's the point. That's not what the creature's thinking. He's thinking companionship, someone to be alongside him. He's not even thinking about that part. But Victor is taking it automatically to a point to where he's going to fight to make sure that he's not getting something. So what makes you think you deserve it?
Well, I don't think it was necessarily that so much as he wanted what his brother was getting.
Yeah.
Because that started young. So his brother was marrying Elizabeth. He thought she was hot, like that. Honestly, that's where it all started, was just his physical attraction to her.
He projected a lot of
And-
that onto the creature as well, though.
Exactly. He did that too. But he, like, when they were building his lab, he would make his brother stay behind, like, you're the only one that I can trust, William. But he only did that so he can spend more time with his brother's fiance.
Yeah.
To try to take her from him.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't that, I can't have it so you can't either. It was more so, I want what you have because you had the easier path.
Yeah.
You just got to go into finance. You got to learn to make money. I had to be forced to be a doctor. So now I'm this doctor. You got the love from our father that I always wanted. You got that acceptance. Now you're getting this woman that I find beautiful. So how about I distract you and see if I can take her from you, because I couldn't take anything else from you, but maybe I can take this one thing.
You've read the George Martin novels, right?
Yes.
You know the Tywin Lannister.
Yes.
The actor that plays Tywin Lannister in the show is the father of Victor Frankenstein in this
Yes.
movie. That actor is always really good at portraying that I'm a fucked up
Of
patriarch.
course, he played Tywin.
He is a really good I'm a fucked up patriarch. Like the kind that deserves to be shot on the shitter kind of patriarch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's real good.
Tywin definitely did.
He got shot on the shitter.
I mean,
like
honest-
that is an epic. That's an epic television show death. He's not. We could talk about this. Bam!
I mean, that's what happened in the book.
It was dope.
But, I mean, realistically, it's the same character, just a more mild version of Tywin.
Now don't do anything foolish.
Yeah.
Pow! hits him with that Catalina wine mixer.
Oh, yeah.
Pow! Pow!
Well, in the book, he actually gets shot in the crotch on the shitter. So it wasn't just in the torso. Like, he intentionally got shot in the crotch.
No, yeah, that would have been hard to convey in the. Oof.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not lethal.
Bro.
Well,
it's an
nowadays,
arrow.
nowadays it might not
It
be.
it was a broadhead crossbow bolt. I'm pretty sure that's lethal.
Yeah, that would
Because it wasn't just a cross, it was an in. Into like the bladder region.
Oh no, you're dead.
Yeah.
No, you're dead. Yeah,
Horribly.
No, sorry, I thought you mean just shot his dick off.
No.
Like people can survive that.
Yeah, no, like it penetrated him. It turned his Audi into an innie.
Ew, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. It probably removed some of it too.
Yeah, he needed to die anyway.
Yeah, he did.
He did despicable things.
He did.
But yeah, the isolation and loneliness and the need for connection. The creature and Victor both share that about it. Like
They really did.
They both have that, but Victor doesn't have the ability to empathize with this creature and see they're both longing for the same thing. So therefore, all he can do is just project his hatred on the creature and his lack of having these things instead of seeing like, no, you need that from me.
Well, he also didn't know how to teach because his only teaching method was
Brutal.
was pain compliance. So that's what he's trying to teach an infant through pain compliance. Just when he was like, "Let me see your leg," and he's smacking him with the thing, he doesn't know what a leg is.
Yeah.
Yet you're saying, "Let me see your leg," and he's not doing it because he doesn't know what you're saying, and you're smacking him with a whip, not a whip, a switch.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to convey like, I don't know what you want, but his only method of conveying anything is to say Victor,
Yeah.
and that just did nothing but throw gasoline on Victor's fire.
Because it just made him feel more like a failure. Every time he said Victor, he felt more like a failure.
Yeah.
Hey, Victor. Ah! Ah!
Yeah,
Stop, Danny! Stop her!
Yeah, but it's like, bro, what have you done to teach him anything outside of that?
Nothing. All he did.
Nothing.
All he did was just
Because
what
then
he
he's
knew.
like, "Can you say boot?" And then like,
Vic.
bro, that's probably the first time he's ever heard the word boot, because you probably never said boot before that since,
Yep.
or before you just did.
Yep.
You know, it's like you're lucky he managed to pick up Victor at the very beginning.
He needed his Jane, like Tarzan.
Yeah,
He needed his Jane. He didn't like Elizabeth could have been his Jane. If she had more time with him and there wasn't the I'm going to douse it all in gasoline and burn the house down, insert Seether here. I'm just kidding. We don't have the rights. Get some gasoline. That song, you know what I'm talking about?
no,
And burn the house down. Sorry, it's
no. I mean, I've heard the song "Kerosene,"
is that by who's that by?
some country chick.
Oh yeah.
I
Miranda
feel like
Lambert.
Carrie Underwood.
No,
maybe?
that's Miranda Lambert. Yeah,
Okay, I don't know. It's been a while.
yeah. There's that one. Yeah, Miranda's got a lot of explosive songs. She also has a song called "Gunpowder and Lead." She likes blowing things up in her music.
She do,
But
but
sorry, that was a really bad squirrel that I let us on.
yeah, that happens.
I need more DP.
But I did enjoy that he finally, around the end of it, started to see the error of his ways, because they go from all of that to, well, hold on, let me back up. So when
is that
after
what reverses sound like?
I don't know,
A blah blah.
possibly
That
But
would scare the
post
children.
right
Reverse it. Blah blah.
post explosion, the creature finds its way into the woods. And here's the thing. Those hunters, like, they kept shooting them. It's like, why? That is clearly a man shape.
Yeah.
It's like you just keep blasting. It's a man shape.
Well, at the same time,
why would you not think, maybe that's a dude
That-
walking out here?
they probably would have killed it even if it was a dude, because it's somebody that's coming up on him in the dark. And
It wasn't dark when they first come across him, because
oh, that's true.
he was sitting there eating berries and feeding some to the deer, and the deer obviously didn't recognize him as a person because of everything, so he probably didn't smell like a typical human. And then these hunters come and they kill the deer, which, I can't be mad at them for killing the deer. They're trying to survive.
Yes, understood.
And then he stands up and they go, "What is that?" And they keep shooting, but they're behind them. Like, it's clearly a person wearing a coat. So you're just going to kill this person that's out in the woods? What's wrong with you?
What about the blind man?
Well, see, that was probably, to me, that was one of the best parts of it.
That was that made me like sob a little.
Me too, dude, because he's like living in the gears of the mill, and he's learning as the old blind man is teaching the child. So he's learning just how to speak and how to be, and he gets to the point where he feels compassion for this family.
And the blind man's been in everything.
Exactly.
I mean, he was
has
in
been.
he was in the Harry Potters, as he was Finch.
Yep.
He was in Game of Thrones, to where he I forget who he was. I think he was a. He's the one that initiated the Red Wedding. I'm gonna.
Walter.
Oh. That's dumb. Walder Frey.
Walter Frey.
Walter. Walter.
I was like, man, I'm
Dude,
close.
That was like, no, that was like right at Walter.
Yeah, I was like, it wasn't Walter, but I was like, man, that's so close.
Walder Frey.
Yeah. But, he gets to the point where he's feeling compassion and just wants to be part of this family. So he starts going out and doing things that he knows is going to help him. Like harvests all this wheat, puts it by their door, builds a pen for their pigs and stuff. And he starts being referred to as Spirit of the Forest.
Yeah.
And, he's just doing these things out of the kindness of his heart. And after not the adults, but the younger adults leave to go, I guess, hunting for the year, leaving the old blind man behind for the winter, he, for whatever reason, gets into his head, like, I'm just going to go show myself to him. And he does. And the old man accepts him for who he is. And basically, he at one point says, "Oh, you've been hiding in the mill gears. He's like, I know you're the spirit of the forest. And they get this friendship, and he teaches them how to read. He teaches them how to eloquently communicate, and he doesn't care that
because the creature's
is.
creature's been sitting there within those walls observing the family for long enough that he's starting to pick up a little bit on language in the first place just by sitting in there and like mumbling to himself,
Yeah.
just like. But he like takes him as a son,
Yeah. Yeah.
raises him as a son.
Yeah. Gives him what he should have gotten from Victor. And they develop a friendship. And at one point, when the wolves come and they do all the attack. Oh, hold on. Can we talk about how many dogs die in this movie? Too many.
Yeah. Now you're talking about dogs or wolves?
I mean, the wolves I can understand.
Yeah.
'Cause it's wolves. They were doing wolf things. Okay, but just dogs. Too many just dogs die in
There
this
were
movie.
a lot of random dogs dying in this movie, but luckily there was not a connective story to go with the dogs to make me care extra besides their squeak.
Yeah.
That made me just like cringe, and then they moved past it. I'm glad, because if I had even a slight backstory on that dog, like even if I knew what that dog ate
If
previously,
I knew what that dog's name was or that it farted 10 minutes ago, it would have been worse.
like if that dog just ate a meal consisting of something, and I knew what all that was, not like but 2 or 3 hours ago, that would have been cry worthy. And I'm glad I didn't know anything about the dog.
Same.
But the wolves, dude, I always forget. Like that's something that was a massive problem in certain parts of the world.
Oh, yeah.
That we drastically just don't take. We take it for granted nowadays because we don't know the danger of just like you're asleep in your bed, then all of a sudden there's wolves in your house eating you alive
Exactly.
because they're eating you while you're alive.
Yeah.
They don't kill you first.
Oh, no. They just rip and tear and consume.
When you'll die when you die,
Yeah.
but they just eat you.
Exactly. It's like, I don't remember exactly what the creature was out doing, but he was out he was out trying to figure out who he was because he talked to the old man, and so he traveled back to the lab / castle where he was born / made and found all these papers. And so as he's coming back to tell the old man what he found, there's he hears the wolves and sees the door open, so he comes in and defends the old guy and tries to save his life, but he's a little too late. And the old man looks at him, and he looks at the old man, and he goes, "I'm an abomination. I never should have been. I'm pieces of dead bodies sewed together, and I somehow have some semblance of life." And he's like, I shouldn't be. And the old man looks at him. He goes,
Well,
he said, do you know what you are? He goes, you're my friend. And like, I got teary because he's like, I don't care. He's like, you're a person and you have value and you're my friend. He's like, I don't care how you got here, but I know your heart and you're a good person.
and then it takes a good 5 to 10 seconds, and he's gone.
Yep.
And you get to sit there and just wallow in that feeling for just a split second, just long enough to be sad that just fucking happened.
Yep.
And then here comes the relatives.
Yep. And they just start blasting.
There's
that thing from the woods we saw like a year ago, and it's like, bruh, don't get me wrong, I can kind of understand because they didn't know about him. Here he is in the house. Their Pap's no longer there, but you would think that they would have saw the wolf corpses and been able to, add 2 and 2 together to get 5. But they just start blasting, and so he runs out. He falls. He thinks he's dead, but then he's not because apparently he can't die because his healing is so drastically accelerated sometimes.
Yeah, that is one thing. It's like,
It's inconsistent.
yeah, it's real loose and fast.
Yeah.
But that's also like a neither here nor there property
Well,
of
I mean,
the creature.
I'm pretty sure that was also in the novel,
Yeah.
the original novel, that he had those regenerative capabilities.
Yes, but for some reason he's always covered in stitches.
Well, they were scars from where he was stitched together. They weren't really stitches. He's got a patchwork.
Just
Because, I mean, if I took random bits of your skin and my skin and your wife's skin and sewed them together, they're not going to be the same colors. I'm not going to do that. But Just saying.
Ed, is that you?
No.
Is that what goes on in your head?
No, I'm just saying.
Is this what's going? What's? Do we need to talk about this?
It's not stitches you're seeing when you look at them. You're seeing the patchwork of the different skin tones.
Patchwork of skin tone and stitches. Is Stitches your friend you talked to about this in the dark?
Bruh. Why you got to make it this? Why you? That's my only question. Why,
You.
comma, you?
Why are you the way you are?
Yeah, exactly. Why are you the way that you are?
Why are you? Okay. Case in point, and this is dark. This, and like dark humor is like, dark humor.
It's like food. Not everybody gets it.
It's one of them things. So I had this thing happen to me in the McDonald's earlier, just before, the McDonald's from Hell experience I had earlier. That's like took me 30 minutes and $25 to get a couple Big Mac meals. So anyway, I get to McDonald's. And I'm in dark. It's dark. The street lights aren't working good out there. And I start driving, and I see this man in what looks to be just a really bad suit. And like the suits
like a
that
cheap suit.
like the suits that they're gonna probably have on tap for you to have it like in the casket. Like if they don't have a nice suit, well, they can wear this one before we put them in the ground. Then we'll just take it off. One of those suits.
Well, those are not really suits. They're more like blankets, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, it looked like that.
Well, I mean, they're kind of sewed together like a Snuggie, but yeah.
But it looked like that.
Right.
It was just like, just the front, because you just like imagine what the front of those
Kind
suits
of like
look
the
like.
funeral director that comes to collect a check from Discount once a month.
Similar, except a little bit looser and a lot blockier.
Understood.
Okay. So he's walking. My wife says, "Hey, you better watch out for him over there." She's the wife alert.
Yeah.
It's like the button, except it's a thing in your car. So the wife alert goes off and she says, "Hey, watch out for that guy over there." I'm like, "I see him over there," and I'll let him walk in front of the car real quick. And then I go, "If I didn't, at least he wouldn't have had to change clothes." And
Hold on. And this was at the shop. Did he have an umbrella with him?
no,
Okay. Was he over middle aged?
yes,
Black hair.
yes.
He works at Goodwill.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh, well, neat.
I used to know his name. He wouldn't do anything. He got that suit from Goodwill.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, as he was walking in front of the car, I said, well, at least if I didn't see him, they wouldn't have had to change his clothes.
Right. Yeah.
He's
an odd duck.
And she just looked at me, and I'm over there chuckling. She's like, "I don't understand you."
Yep.
I'm like, "Well, I'm sorry. She's like, "What? Did you do that as a joke for me?" I was like, "No, that was a joke for me, but if you laughed, that would have been a plus."
Yeah. Yep.
I think that the forgiveness though that I keep wanting to call him the monster because he always say Frankenstein's monster, but it's a creature in the movie.
Yeah.
Creature.
They never at any point gave him any kind of a name.
But I like the forgiveness that went on between him and Victor.
I did enjoy that at the end because, it started off as just hatred because he initially, when he come back from the old man, he found where Victor was and he said, "Look," he said, "I can't die. Basically, you did your job too well. So I want you to give me a companion and we'll just go fuck off and do our own thing." Victor's like, "No, then you're going to make more blah, 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 blah," and all this stuff. And he goes, "Well, if you won't let me indulge in love, I'm going to indulge in hatred and I'll have that in abundance." And that led to the whole hunting and all that thing. And so at the climax of the movie, they're sitting in the back of that boat and they're talking, and Victor finally realizes that this is not just a creature, that this is a person he's made.
He's grown now.
This is a person. He's grown. He has that capacity for the intellect. He literally succeeded in everything he wanted to do, but didn't have the patience to do. And he looks at him and he says, "I realize what I did to you was horrible, and I'm sorry. Can you possibly forgive me?" And he looks at him, and he's calling him son because he realizes this is basically my son that I did to him what my dad did to me, but on a more extreme level. And now I feel sorry for it, and I truly mean that. And he looks at him, and he says, "I forgive you, go in peace," more or less. And it was just it was very emotional, and it's like I didn't expect to cry in this movie
Yep. And the movie's
more than once, especially.
the movie, yeah, dude, it hits you multiple times throughout the movie. But the movie doesn't take the same route as like apparently what the book took. But I know from just older versions of the Frankenstein story that they don't offer you with anything more than just kind of like a cliffhangery, like and all hope is hopeless, hopeless.
Yeah.
Like it leaves you feeling literally like, you know, if something like this is born of this and is made of this, then it's hopeless.
Right.
But this iteration, even for something that is dark, and you can have empathy and acceptance, and that redemption, or at least like peace, can be found, you know, for beings that are born of suffering. So that's what both Victor and the creature were. They were creatures born of suffering.
Yep.
So, God, but just that's something too that I don't think a lot of other iterations have done a really good job of portraying, is that the creature and Victor like are just a funhouse mirror of each other. You know, like you're like Victor looking to the mirror,
Yeah.
and he sees that the deformed, mangled version of himself looking back at him. Like that's all that it is.
Right.
Like it's like, and all he knew was what he was given, and it's just passing on that same trauma to another generation, and he doesn't even know it until he's like on the death's door.
Yeah.
You know, the raspy gray man.
Yeah. Okay, so the novel ending is, you know, Victor does have that remorse and all that, but he dies before the creature sees the body. And so when the creature gets there, he's overcome with grief, suffering, and, you know, all the same emotions that he went through in the movie, but he decides that he's going to blow himself up because, you know, that's all he knows how to do, and, well, he doesn't die from it. That's basically the ending of the novel.
I like the way that the movie just like,
I do like the movie ending better than that.
and as we said, we some spoiling bastards up in here today. At the end of the movie, the creature full blown Supermans that ship out of the ice.
He does.
Like I'm not talking like goes underneath and flies away with it, but that ship's stuck in ice in Alaska in the 1800s, and this creature decides, you know what, I'm going to push this vessel back out to sea.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before he made it onto the boat, he was still consumed with that anger because, like, in the fight sequence that it shows him right before, and he stabs Victor, he says, "The only time you listen to me is when I hurt you." And, you know, like that's sad too, because he's just trying to convey everything.
He just wants to talk.
Exactly.
And you just act like he is what he looks like and not what he could be on the inside.
Exactly. And the captain started to see that he and Victor were not very dissimilar. He was beginning the journey that Victor had already completed. And so when he lets the creature go, like, he realizes that, he makes a decision that, because he was still going to push ahead to the North Pole at the beginning. And so after all that, seeing what that kind of thing can do, he had decided, well, we're just going to go home like everybody wants to do, because I don't want to end up like this man that's dead in the back of my ship.
Yep.
And I think the creature recognized that, and just out of his own compassion that he can now express, because he got all the anger out. He even says, like, there's no more anger left. You know, he's told his story. He's done everything he can do. He helps send them back home. And it was touching. And then, you know, the movie fades out with him just kind of like looking at the sunset.
And I feel like that ship captain's been in like everything too. I feel like this movie had like, is that considered a star-studded cast? Whenever everybody's been in everything,
Probably.
because I feel like he's been in like everything. I mean, oh yeah, I've seen so many things on this daggum list. I don't want to sit here and recite them, but I've seen so many things on this list. Fantastic. Yeah. His name was Lars Mikkelsen.
Okay.
Lars Mikkelsen. You would have probably seen him if you if you watched The Witcher or if you watched Ahsoka.
Nope, not seen either one of those.
He's been.
He still looked familiar though
He's
when he
been-
was doing his captaincy.
He's been in a bunch of different things. But
He's probably one of those guys that you see his face, you're like,
that guy.
one, that guy.
that guy from The Thing I seen.
Yeah,
Whenever we get older, that's all it's going to be.
I'm already there, dude.
No, I'm talking like even older than that. Like you're going to watch a movie with your buddy, and then you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, "Hey, isn't that the guy from like I can't remember that one thing that he was in the well?" And they said, "Well, there's the one thing that they said, and
We literally did that before we started this.
I know, but that's as we get older, that's all it's going to be, and then we're going to get to talk about our medications,
I mean, I'm okay with that.
and we're going to get to talk about our procedures. I can't wait till we're old enough to talk about
Look.
our procedures.
Dude, we're going to get to a point where it'll be like, hey, I actually pooped today and I didn't have to like drink that weird chalky slurry.
I can't wait till it's like,
We're like, bro, because look, I'll be that 90-year-old dude that says, bro, I'll be like, bro. Be like, yeah, Tiny. I'll be like, hey, you'll never guess what happened this morning.
no,
You'd
dude,
be like, what? And you'd be like, I had a tumescence. And then I'll just hang up. And you'll be like, what the fuck is that? And then you'll Google it and then you'll know.
yeah, just like people that are listening to the podcast, I'll have to do that because I'm not looking it up. They'll have to listen to that word and figure out how to spell it and everything off
It's
that
pretty much phonetic.
off that one time you said it.
Well, have you seen Robin Hood?
I have seen Robin
Like
Hood.
the newest iteration.
That doesn't mean anything to me. That could be within the past.
No, it's old. Not the Kevin Costner, but what's his name? The guy from Gladiator,
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, the Russell Crowe one.
When he wasn't Robin Hood, but he played Robin of Locksley.
Yes, and so he's there. He's with the old man, and he says, "I woke up this morning with a glorious tumescence."
Yes. Does that mean
Put that in context.
is that I woke up with a morning wood?
Yes. Yes, that old man was very happy. He told him, he's like, "Hey man, I woke up like the king's iron was present."
I think because watching people getting older, like them sitting and talking to each other, like there's no more like, "Hey, what'd you get out and do this week?" or "Hey, did you have anything fun happening?" Like maybe we can podcast long enough that we can get on here, but like, so I had that spot cut off on my foot. We've been wondering about that for a little bit. It was getting to where the edges of it weren't very even. It was starting to flake a little bit. Every time that my skin get dry, it'd flake almost all the way off and bleed. So doctor said I need to get that cut off, and they sent it back. They're going to let me know what's going on with it. Should be a few more days.
We'll also develop like a weather body part.
Oh, I already got those. My wrists and hands from playing guitar for almost 20 years.
I don't have any weather body parts, but I'm kind of excited to see where life takes me in that.
Yeah, the jars where we keep our rosin at the shop, like whenever it dropped real cold, the temperature went from like, hell, it's going to be in the 70s to like, it's 42 degrees outside. Like, bitch. It added a bitch to it.
Yeah.
Like, opening up the jars of rosin, like my wrists and my thumbs would feel like they are about to break off just from having to keep a little bit of a grip on it. It's like, all right, you probably got that carpool tunnel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of wonder if maybe that's why my left knee hurts as much as it has been. Because just getting clipped by that buggy, it shouldn't hurt as bad as it does.
For all you listeners out there that would like to support us, we are thinking about doing a podcast side project starting this winter, and it's only for wintertime shenanigans, and it's the Fuzzy Knee Forecast. This is relied upon heavily with the White County School District. So, and you think I'm
It's
bullshitting.
sad, but it's true.
You think I'm bullshitting you. It's not a bullshit. It's for real. The White County, Tennessee school system does rely heavily on
I feel like for the rest of this month at least, we need a weekly update. Like before we come in here, I need you to send them a text like, "Hey, what's that knee doing?"
the Fuzzy Knee Forecast it's so relied upon that I think that the superintendent of schools intentionally delays school closings just to try to wreck my dad's record. They got the days to burn.
be.
They could just close automatically with a threat.
I've got an idea.
That's all he would need, just the threat of snow, and he could close.
I've got an idea.
But instead he waits, and then it's fucking pouring the snow down.
So we spend $20 American and we get a webcam. Okay.
My dad does not need that.
No.
Oh God.
We
Keep
have
going,
it.
though.
We have it focused just on his knee,
And people are
and we live stream it.
we live stream the fuzzy knee forecast.
Yes.
This is an Austin Shazam Pfeiffer and Tiny present here from Nerded to the Grapevine podcast. We are best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts, past, present, and future nerd culture. We're coming at you live with the Fuzzy Knee Forecast. Fuzzy Knee Forecast, we're going to check them out here. It's almost like when the groundhog sees its shadow. Are we going to have a little bit of winter coming ahead of us? Are we going to have some spring soon? What's the knee say over here? Knee says bright purple. That means we're going to have a chance of precipitation that is accumulating tonight, folks.
I do also want some audio, but mainly if he burps or farts.
If you're you have a microphone within the vicinity of the man he's going to. But the thing is, you got to secretly mic it up because he thinks he's sneaky about it. He's not going to be like you and try to see if the chair's going to hold. Like, he's going to try to be sneaky about it, and he's so old that his body will have to contort in ways just to get it to go.
Do you remember the time? I can't remember where we were at, but there were one time where we were doing the sound check, and he put the microphone down. He thought he had it turned off, but he didn't, and he cut it in the mic. Yeah.
Whoop. It whopped.
Yeah.
It didn't go. It went whoop.
Yeah.
And he go.
Yeah.
And that man, it tis almost the Christmas season.
I seen him his face turn the same color as the snow knee.
In case you haven't noticed, here in the dead center, you've got Macho Man Randy Santa, and he is supporting the Christmas tree for us during this season. And I think that it is an excellent addition to the table. It was a clearance find for 10 whole doll hairs.
It's worth it.
Everybody,
It was great.
it has been a good episode. Thank you for sitting and talking to us a little bit about the Victor Frankensteins. Watch Frankenstein on Netflix if you haven't watched it already. And in case we haven't spoiled it too much for you and you want to get your own opinion on it, it would be worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
Tiny,
Austin.
if the creature walked in the room right now holding grapes,
Mm-hmm.
what would you do?
I would first ask him if he had washed his hands. And then I would give him a hug and say thank you, but probably not eat them.
That's very good, because on the side of that one grape, there was a booger.